Right, friends, it's T-Man and I'm back with a brand new video. It's on a vegan slave called Tash Peterson. That's right. Gonna do a reaction video to the vegan slave herself, Tash Peterson. Yes, this is gonna be amazing.
How do you feel about that, sending animals to slaughterhouses?
Well, if you didn't have them, if no one ate meat, those lambs would never have a life anyway, or the sheep.
Well, they shouldn't be bred into existence to be abused and murdered.
What are we going to eat? What's the world going to eat?
They shouldn't be bred into existence to be bred and murdered? What is she talking about, man?
Well, all of us here today are vegans, so you can eat...
Obviously, she doesn't know what world she lives in. She lives in the material world. She doesn't live in nature. Nature is not based on material. Money doesn't work in nature. You don't need anything. You don't need cars. You don't need this poster. You don't need this microphone. You don't need anything in nature. Nature is not about material stuff, lady. Hello.
I can say that.
Plant-based.
You would hunt animals and eat them. Unfortunately, in this zoo that you live in, this prison that you live in as a slave because you've been enslaved to the material world, you don't hunt anymore. You don't really even enjoy your life. You think you're enjoying it with man-made material stuff, but in fact, you're not really truly enjoying this universe because a good majority, if you want to call it religion, this is a cult. You've gone away from God, because if there truly is a God out there and he exists, well, he exists out in nature, lady. He doesn't exist in the man-made, fabricated, fake world. Get it, lady?
Meat, plant-based milk.
What did our parents, our ancestors, what did they live on?
Listen to what she says, plant-based milk. There's no such thing. Plants are not milk. What the hell is she talking about? She thinks that man can just about fabricate anything that they want and they can do better than nature. That is the reason why you're in this prison to begin with. It all started with enslaving you and then enslaving you as slaves to eating a slave diet. And from the slave diet comes all of this stuff. That's how it all stems. Money, doctors, school, slave work, slave job, slave money, slave everything just from being sick from eating shit food.
Yeah, they probably ate animals. Is that a reason to
My
continue
argument
doing
is,
it?
Yeah, there's a reason why they were doing it, because it's not deficient in any nutrients. There's no toxins or sugar in it. It keeps you healthy. Unlike plants, they're toxic and they destroy you. They're filled with sugar.
the sheep would never be born. At least they've got a life. As they grow, they have a fantastic life. They play with their mates out in the paddocks.
They do. So she's gonna show a phony video or something, probably. I don't know. They have a good life, man. They live good out there in nature, but because the masses, there's just so many people to feed now because overpopulation due to the material world. In nature, the world wouldn't be so populated. That's the problem.
So they have some life, otherwise they would never...
I would say that she's on the verge. She wants to further abuse the slaves in this environment. Her herself is a slave. She doesn't even realize that she's a slave. She doesn't even know that. She can't comprehend that. She can't comprehend that fact that she's a slave in this zoo called City.
Be born. It'll be like you.
Okay,
Would you rather live till you're 20 years old and not live at all?
I'd rather not live at all if I was going to be enslaved, abused, and murdered.
They're not
You are enslaved and abused, lady. Hello. And you're being further abused, and you're trying to abuse the rest of the slaves that are around you. What the fuck is she talking about? She is a slave herself. Look at the sign she's holding up. It says animals are not slaves. Yeah. She's a slave. She's a slave. Animals are free. They're in nature. They're roaming around. The animals that were farming, they're on farms. But the majority, the rest of the animals, they're roaming the planet. They're not enslaved. Like her, she's stuck here. You need a passport. You need papers. You need documents. You need to work to go to your slave school, your slave job, and go to your slave store and buy your slave food. That's the whole point. So you can spark a whole industry. They need money. You need money. So now you need to pay for eyeglasses and doctors and medicine and fucking dentists and shit, and orthodontists. And then, you need to fund their education as well. Get it? They need to go get educated and everything. Now you need an accountant because of that money. You need to pay for your poor health and all these kinds of things. Can't you see that? Are you so blind that you can't realize that?
Enslaved.
They are.
No, they're not.
They're commodities to
You are a modern day slave.
you, right? They're slave.
You're not working on a plantation where the rent and board is paid for. They made you go to work. They call it corporation now. They made you go to work and you pay. Now, whether you can pay your rent or not, they don't care. See that? You suffer. Yeah.
They're your slaves, and you send them
Who
to
do you think-
slaughterhouses to have their heads chopped off.
Who do you think feeds the country? The country wouldn't survive without farmers.
Plant-based farmers.
Sorry?
We can survive.
No, you can't.
Plant-based
The world
farmers.
can't
Why not?
supply without wool.
Why not? We can thrive and survive without abusing
No,
and
we
murdering
can't.
animals.
We aren't abusing animals. We aren't doing anything, and we are thriving and surviving if we eat. We don't even have raw milk, access to raw milk. So what are you talking about, lady? The milk is poisoning us as well. This pasteurized milk is extremely bad for you. That funds another industry, the pimple popper. They're all over the internet. They're popular YouTube channels, pimple popping and all that. It's disgusting. And for what reason? Because they drank milk? Man, milk causes so many problems. The pasteurized milk, raw milk, is what makes you live long and strong and healthy. You don't need to see dentists or anything. Here's the thing: if toothpaste is so good at preventing a tooth decay, then why are you still seeing the dentist? Because that's the point. It causes tooth decay because it erodes your enamel. It's got aggregate in it from cement. Hello. And it's got some toxin called fluoride, which does absolutely nothing but poison your stem cells. All these things, they shorten your lifespan. The whole purpose of doing this is to shorten your lifespan so you don't live long, so you do die at a certain period of time. And a decrepit death at that, you're going to look like a prune. Yeah, so they can take your money and then shuffle it into the system. The elites are at the top and the slaves are at the bottom. That's how it works, dude.
Why
You've
can't
got
you?
the argument, but
Why can't you explain why?
You can't explain.
you've got the argument, but
Why can't you explain why?
well,
Why can't you live without eating?
Because
and
what-
using-
Because you can't, because you'll die. That's why they have vegan compilations, Tash, Peterson. The vegan compilations come out every year and they're all suffering. Didn't think I'd be making this video. My hair's falling out, my pee-pee and everything. You're going to die of scurvy. If you don't eat meat, you will die. You understand me? You will die. If you eat a vegan diet and you don't eat meat, you'll die. And if you don't eat meat, you'll die. Regardless. Meat is what sustains the population right now. It just sustains them on the verge of you know what. And then while they eat these plant foods, it funds an entire industry. This world wouldn't exist without you eating these fake foods.
farmers, the money, if the farms didn't exist, how would the world survive, our country survive without our taxes? Would not exist. You wouldn't have a job, no one would.
See that? He himself is a slave too. I mean, listen to what he says. You wouldn't have a job, you wouldn't pay taxes, you wouldn't, do all these things. But in nature, you wouldn't pay taxes, you wouldn't do any of these things. Think about it. When the colonists entered the New World, America, they saw these native people living off the land. Yeah, they ate buffalo, right? They lived off the land. They ate buffalo. They enjoyed their life, stress-free, tax-free, school-free, stress-free, all this kind of stuff. They're like, hey, we need to bring them on board. We need to enslave them as well. You understand me? They enslaved the world. The colonists enslaved the world. That's the whole point. When they say colonize, they mean enslave. If you look at this lady in Queensland right now on the news, I think in Australia, she keeps saying, "You're not my king. You're not my king. You're not my queen. You stole our land. You killed our people. Whatever. Give us back our people. Give us back our land." And there you go.
Because we can move to plant-based farming. It's already
No,
happening.
you can't.
It is. Yes, you
I
can.
go, wait, what?
If Tash wants to save the environment, why doesn't she just go out in nature? Why doesn't she promote nature? Why doesn't she tell everybody to abandon this material world and this evil God that has created this material world through religion and everything? Really, through religion, this is created to abandon this evil thing, this evil world, man-made world, and go back to nature, to God, the real God in nature.
You know,
Yeah, plant-based
you wouldn't want
farming,
to cut
you don't
down
need-
trees either, do you?
Pardon?
You obviously don't want to cut down trees either.
No, but animal agriculture is the leading.
Yeah, but she's okay with cutting down trees. And she's going to try to argue they're not sentient. How does she know that? She's a human. She doesn't know anything. How could she possibly know if plants are not sentient? Obviously, they are because they're alive. Everything in this universe is alive because it's alive due to energy. If you look up in Google, if you type who is God or what is God, the first thing it says to you, energy can't be created or destroyed. So obviously God must be energy. When you think about it with your instincts to survive, okay? Not your phony knowledge because you don't have any knowledge. So you accumulate knowledge through experience, and even your experiences can fool you. But the thing is, your instincts are not going to fool you. You know that nature is God because it protects you. If you eat natural food, it's kind of obvious your teeth aren't going to fall out. You're not going to get sick. See what I mean? But if you eat these fake plant foods and do all these weird fake things, your teeth are going to fall out. You're going to get sick.
Cause of deforestation. Would you say you're against animal abuse?
We don't abuse our animals.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, are you against animal?
Vegan people cause deforestation by farming. They deplete the land of its minerals and things. And so they keep slashing and burning. That's why the Amazon is disappearing. The world is really going away quickly because of this vegan shit. It's crazy.
Abuse?
We look after our animals better than anyone in the world. Same with the horses. They're treated like...
Animals create the environment. Once you eat the animals up, once the animals are gone, the environment will completely die because they recycle because they eat and they shit. They put back into the land, just like worms. That's what worms do. They make soil.
babies.
Have you been inside the slaughterhouse? Where they have their heads chopped off? Do you think that's love and care to chop someone?
I love her. Oh, have you been there? They have their heads chopped off. They don't have their heads chopped off. They have a stun gun. It hits them in the brain. Like the cows, they put them through this thing. They're humanely put down. Unlike in nature, it could be unhumane. If you throw a javelin or whatever, a spear at an animal, and it hits him in the side, right? It could be painful. He could be suffering. I don't know, when you put him down. At least here in the modern world, they somewhat put them down humanely. You know, it's a quick death. So in nature, when you're hunting and trying to hunt these animals, it may not be so quick. It could be the opposite.
We kill our own meat.
So you kill the animals yourself?
We do it humanely. On the farm, we do. For meat.
How do you humanely...
You know, she's not going to survive much longer. If she's really full vegan, like she says she is, she's not going to survive much longer. And like every other vegan, she's going to eat meat. She's going to eat meat eventually in the end. She's going to wake up and smell the coffee.
Kill someone who wants to live.
There's no worse than people down in this city getting stabbed. I can tell you that. We do it a lot better than that. So.
Yeah, but how do you humanely kill a little lamb who wants to live?
Well, it's not a little lamb. We put them to sleep.
But they're lambs, right? They're 6 months old?
No, well, they're 12 months old at least.
Okay. All right. Well, they're lambs.
Some are older.
Regardless of age, they're individuals who want to live. Would you agree? They don't want to die?
They're individuals that want to live. Everything wants to live, but we consume energy to survive. The whole universe is based on consuming energy. That's how it survives. People always wonder, what's a black hole? It consumes light. It consumes energy. Planets consume energy. Everything consumes energy. The whole universe is energy. The whole universe is God, if you want to call it that. Nature. It's called nature. It's called energy. Yeah. So without this energy, you couldn't be walking this planet. You'd be dead. Like I said, we're consuming energy nonstop.
But
they would never even get born if no one ate meat.
Would you like to be born into existence to be a slave, abused and murdered at 12?
That's a good one. Would you like to be born into existence as a slave and so forth and murdered? Well, she is. She has been born into slavery, and she is being murdered slowly by promoting and eating a fake diet. and doing all these fake things and eating, I don't know what other chemicals she's eating, consuming these fake foods are slowly killing her. Yes, I would agree. She obviously can't see that for herself because she's blind because she's a slave.
Unsolved.
They're not getting
She's a very dumb slave. I could say that for sure.
abused. You know, you talk about abuse. She's got no idea. You just need to come up in the country.
She doesn't even care about the slaves that are around her herself. She doesn't even realize she's being abused.
How is
And have a look at a farm.
How is killing someone not abuse? That's cruelty and violence. That's a different.
Yeah. How can killing somebody not be abuse? Think about it, Tash. You're killing people trying to feed them a poisonous, toxic diet. How could that not be abuse, Tash? You want to poison the other slaves that are around you? You slave? You little slave, you.
Definition of abuse, to chop someone's head off, how is that not abuse?
No, but this was
That's it.
in the
Yeah.
Bible.
You don't have an answer,
It's
do
in
you?
the Bible how they killed animals.
Of course I'm right.
How
Yeah,
is
the
chopping
Bible-
someone's head
Oh,
off?
this guy's good, man. He's going to start arguing the Bible, how the Bible says, The whole thing about sacrificing animals, the elites made them go out and get these animals, and then they said, we're sacrificing them. Yeah. That's so they didn't have to go out and hunt. It was a trick. They tricked people. People trick people to make them work. They trick them to sell them products that they don't need, to steal their money. That's the whole point, bro. Nobody wants to work. They want you to work, and then they steal your work from you. That's how it works.
So
Not
I agree with
abuse.
you. I lack vitamin B12. The government, the doctor just told me, are you...
You can get B12
Wait.
supplements. Why would you?
Get B12 supplements? You want to live on supplements now? Okay. Yeah, B12. It's not just B12, Tash. They're like well over 15 or 20 nutrients, and some they're just discovering still that meat has that you need as a human. It's deficient. Plants are deficient in these nutrients, and they're not bioavailable, and they're anti-nutrient anyway. So does it really matter?
Use and murder animals to get
Where do you
B12
get iron and B12? You tell me.
from plants and
No, you can't.
supplements.
You can't get B12. No,
There are
not really.
plenty of plant-based
No.
foods
You can't get real B12 from plants. It's a lie.
that have iron in
Yogurt,
them.
cheese, Vegemite, certain Vegemite.
You can get vegan yogurt and vegan cheese.
Where does it come from?
But it's not just B12. These guys are not smart enough to rebuttal her shit. That's the problem. Me, if I was there, man, I'd question her right away. I'd put her in nature right away and see what she'd have to say.
Where does the cheese come from?
Plants, plant-based foods.
Where does milk and cheese come from? Plant-based foods. They come from animals. What the fuck is she talking about?
Comes from milk.
Plant-based milk. You don't have to have dairy cheese.
No such thing as plant-based milk. And if they're trying to convince you that plants are milk, like what is this, almond milk, where they crushed a bunch of almonds because they're white to make it look like milk. Yeah, think again. It's filled with cyanide. They're filled with cyanide. That's all you want to do is keep consuming cyanide. Yes. Slowly poisoning yourself so you can shorten your lifespan. Like eating rice has arsenic. When people want to poison people, they poison them with arsenic slowly, right? I mean, when they have real arsenic. So it's a slow poison, kind of. You're eating rice. It's got arsenic in it. All these foods are poisonous, toxic, with oxalates. She just doesn't know that because she hasn't studied any of this.
Or dairy milk. You can choose a plant-based alternative. So again, my question to you is how can you not
Milk alternative, no such thing for humans. Tell that to an animal out in nature. Here, I have an alternative for you. Eat this bark instead of eating leaves.
abuse someone when you kill them? How is that not abuse?
How is that not abuse? Feeding them a toxic diet, Tash. How is that not abuse? Trying to get humans, trying to fool them, trying to condition them or brainwash them into eating toxic plants to destroy them.
You don't understand.
You don't understand because you can't answer the
No,
question.
you need to come out.
No, you can't understand because they can't fathom poisoning themselves. Hello.
In the country,
I've been crazy.
have a look at the
Because
farm,
you're an animal
how animals are
abuser?
treated, and
Yeah, having their heads chopped off
Yeah,
for
but
you
they
to
do
eat
that
their
to
body.
Why are you in those underwear to begin with? I don't even know what she's talking about. She looks a little bit chubby. Her body she looks very domesticated because of eating these plant foods, these artificial foods. This is what happens to these humans. They look frail and short and small. She's kind of chubby. Not a bad looking woman, but she's kind of chubby, not looking so great. Yeah.
That's blatant abuse and murder.
They did that to crayfish. How they?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying.
You're dead right, mate.
Yeah, when I do
Yeah.
the crayfish, what's your support against crayfish? Is that the same?
They're sentient beings who want to live.
Sorry?
They're sentient beings who want to live.
Yeah, they put crayfish in boiling water.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Okay,
so
well,
why aren't you vegan? If you think that's
Well,
wrong, why
I
aren't you
don't
vegan?
like cruelty to animals. I hate it, but
But you're paying for animals to be abused
yeah, I don't
and
eat meat.
murdered
But I
in
eat cheese.
slaughterhouses.
I eat cheese, yogurt.
Yeah,
and
dairy
I can
cows
get
are
beef
raped
pulp.
and their babies are kidnapped from them for you to consume her milk. You don't need to be doing this.
Yeah. But as the gentleman said, this world, if we didn't eat meat and poultry and stuff, well, poultry's disgusting, it stinks. If we didn't eat meat and poultry, we wouldn't survive.
So I should be dead then.
He's right. We won't survive very long. Like the vegan compilation, they don't survive and they all go carnivore. Not raw carnivore, but carnivore enough.
7 years vegan. Should I be dead?
I don't know.
You can
Yeah,
thrive
but
and
most
survive on a
humans-
She's not 7 years vegan. She's lying. She's doing some animal products. Within 2 years, you'd already fall off completely. She'd fall off like all the rest of them. She's lying.
It's a
plant-based
lazy.
diet.
I agree. I agree for your point of view. I do. I'd love to
Do
be
you
a
guys
vegan.
agree that you can survive on
Yeah,
a
you
plant-based
could.
diet?
You can.
Yeah.
No, humans cannot survive on plant-based diets. You'd suffer from scurvy. You'll suffer from scurvy and you'll die. That's what will happen.
Agree. Yeah, I agree.
Some
Yeah,
people
so
are.
Yeah, but that's your
She's absolutely lying.
But
prerogative.
can the country?
No, but that's your prerogative being a
can.
vegan.
Can
That's
the
okay.
country without the money?
No, but that's another
Plant-based
issue.
farming.
Yeah, well, it might be another issue.
No, that's
but,
an issue. That's an
but
issue.
as you said, farmers, we are not cruel to our animals. We treat them like babies. So
Even
anyhow.
protein is given to sheep. Protein is given to sheep. Look at this.
So we can move to plant-based farming. You
No,
don't need to
yes,
abuse.
you know it.
You
You
don't need
don't-
to abuse
you're a
and murder
vegan.
animals anymore.
Okay,
Anyhow.
this idiot who
Plant-based farming will be an ecological disaster because you still need to weigh these things. You know, you need to weigh, bro. This is crazy. I don't know what she's talking about. If you just farm and you stop eating any animals, then you have no use for animals anymore, and they'll just deplete the land and destroy it. She's nuts.
It's
shipped
your
those cattle.
justification to
These
continue
idiots who
murdering
shipped those cattle
lambs.
to Afghanistan a couple of years ago. Remember? And they banned them. Australian government banned them. You can't export cattle to Afghanistan because they treat them cruelty. Now they've opened it up again because of international.
So why are you viewing animals as slaves? You can live vegan. Don't need to enslave
They're
and
not
abuse and murder
slaves.
them.
I've
They
had
are
enough of
slaves.
They're slaves. You don't. Why are you enslaving me? I'm a slave here in this fake world. Why are you enslaving me? To eat animals. And the guy's like, why are you enslaving me to eat plants? Their people are nuts, man.
I know, you're not going to see
you
them.
have ownership
You're welcome
over
to come
them.
up to my farm and have a look.
Okay, where's your farm?
Are the animals free?
Yeah.
No, they're not. They've got a fence around.
Are the animals free? Are they free? I don't know. They are what they are. They will be free if you go back to nature, Mr. Vegan Action Melbourne guy or whatever with this Tash lady. Go out in nature, abandon this fake world, and they'll be free.
They're not free to do what they
Oh,
want.
they're running in a 1,000-acre paddock, mate.
And then
A
you-
1,000-acre
then
paddock.
you slit
If that's not bloody free, I'll go.
And then you slit their throats.
This is from Karen Down.
And then you slit their throats. Isn't that what people are doing now? Because they're practically dying, so they're calling it euthanasia. They're in hospitals now. They want to euthanize humans. They want to cut their throats so they die, these poor slaves. Because they're so sick from eating vegan diets. They're so sick from eating these plants that they want to be euthanized. Get it, bro?
You can see the name on the
I'm up in
Moment.
the country.
Terry,
I'm running my stock on
their
18,000
heads are cut
acres.
off.
Yeah, okay, no, sorry, you
You
asked
slit
him a
their
question.
throats.
You asked him a
Tell me
question.
how you humanely slit their
What are
throats.
you're pulling a plant out?
Every disease that man suffers from right now is caused by eating an artificial diet called vegan plant. This vegan is a cult, bro. This is a cult, a religion. It's just another enslavement thing to enslave you.
The ground? What's the difference?
No, how do
Isn't
you-
a plant alive?
No, they're not.
She wants to be a slave master and enslave you to a vegan diet, like completely vegan, like drop completely like the meat now. That's just crazy.
Of course they are.
They're alive, but they're not sentient. They don't feel pain.
How do you know?
Do you seriously think cutting a lamb's throat and cutting a carrot is the same thing? Are you serious?
Well, I don't know. I've never asked a carrot. I've never asked.
Whatever. They feel, they cry when you cut them, man. You think they don't feel? Plants feel. They're alive.
So, anyhow, my argument is you can't live without the
You
can't live without the farmers. You can't live without the sheep. So you want all the farmers just to go out of existence?
No, I want to see plant-based farming.
Well,
I've told you.
You're barking up the wrong
You have
tree,
the
lady.
choice right now to stop abusing animals, or you
We
can
can't,
do plant-based
because all the
farming.
farmers would go broke, and then the country would be stuffed. My argument.
Proud animal abuser, are you?
I mean, there's no argument there. He's right, exactly. We'd be starved, man. We'd be done. We'd die without animals. She's nuts. And she's a liar. She's just another person trying to break out and be a slave master and enslave people to her crazy ideals. Her crazy cult called Vegan Cult Master. She's a cult master.
Giving high fives to someone who murders lambs. You're disgusting. Shame on you. Do you support this? This is the person you just gave a.
Huh? Do you support my cult, my vegan cult to enslave you to just eat plants so you can die a real decrepit death? Not that you're already dying a decrepit death eating plants, but we want you to eat them 100%, completely finish you off.
High five to pay for these.
Maybe she's into it because she wants to reduce the population in the world. Maybe she's in it with Bill Gates. Bill Gates is funding this movement, saying, "Yeah, it's the only way to reduce the population by poisoning them 100%. Can you imagine just eating rice? It has arsenic in it. And all you have to do is eat rice every day. You would die. You would die early, really fast.
Animals to be stabbed in the throat, mothers to be raped and have their babies kidnapped from them. Do you find?
I love the campaign. Hey, man, the reason why you should poison yourself and die early in a decrepit death is because you're slow these little baby animals. You're killing them and you're slicing their throats and doing all these things. Yes. I like this one. You're not that skinny.
That funny? Do you find?
You eat bad. You're not that skinny. Yeah, she's plumpy.
Isn't that funny? Chopping animals' heads off?
That's not how they kill one.
She's fat because she eats carbs all day. She eats sugar.
Yes, it is. How do they kill?
But I know she eats animal products because there's no way that she could be 7 years vegan. She's a liar.
They literally slit their throat and chop their head off.
That's not everywhere. That's in Asia. In fact,
They literally slit their throats and cut their heads off. So they slit and then they cut the heads off. And so that's why you have to poison yourself, everybody out there. Eat these toxic poison plants so you could die for my cause. You understand me? Because I'm trying to reduce population. I'm trying to help you.
China, not in Australia. In Australia, they zap them.
Tell me what they do. What do they do?
The pig inquiry just went.
How do they murder the animals?
Put a bullet in their head, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, and then they slit.
Of course, first you have to plant the seed, the idea. How do they murder the animals? And that's the basis of my whole argument. That a throat gets sliced. It's abused by cutting the throat and cutting the head off. That's the reason why you shouldn't eat any of these animals. Get it? You can eat plants and toxify yourself to death. Yes, and die for our cause.
Their throat. It doesn't hurt them. Would you like a bullet in your head and have your throat slit? Would you like to be in this cow's position?
It wouldn't be painful.
So murder is okay if it's not painful.
Well, what else are they going to do? They're going to go live out in a paddock?
No, they shouldn't be bred into existence in the first place.
Well, they are.
They shouldn't be bred into existence to begin with. They shouldn't be bred, man. Oh, man. Okay.
Every
time you eat meat, dairy, and eggs, or buy leather, wool products, or any animal products, you're paying for animals to be abused.
One of the reasons why they don't totally want to take away your meat is because they need you functioning and working. Yeah, but now with AI and robots and everything, then the elite probably are thinking, you know what? Yeah, I think we need to reduce the population. We don't need all these people anymore. They're just cluttering up the planet.
And murders. What is it?
You're not
Why is it bullshit? Why is it bullshit? This is a mother dairy cow in a slaughterhouse. How does this make you feel? 1 second. Tell me what the slaughterhouse does then.
The only way to end this artificial world is not to participate in it. Don't go to school and don't go to work. Just go back into nature. Start moving back into nature, living in nature. A lot of people are doing that. They're going in nature and they're actually having such a nice life out there in nature. Now, these people, they're all stuck in these cities, these zoos called cities. They think is natural. They think this is natural. She thinks she's probably doing something natural. I really have no clue, man, about what ideals she has in her head, but it just appears that way, that she wants to enslave everybody to eat this shit and toxify them to death, kill them.
If you don't think there's blood on the floor in a...
Can she be that ignorant? Can she be that ignorant? Yes, I would say yes. These slaves are so ignorant to the fact that they don't even realize that they're just slaves. They don't realize that. They don't want to see themselves like that, but they're slaves.
slaughterhouse, you're fucking ignorant. Animal abuser. Watch Dominion on YouTube to see...
See? She has to hurl insults to these people to make them... I gotta make you feel bad so that you can go and destroy yourself.
the truth. This is what you pay for if you're not vegan. This is a mother dairy cow in a slaughterhouse because you...
You should show the pictures of the people, the vegan compilation. This is what you pay for when you go against nature. Your hair falls out, your pee-pee and everything. You become sick and end up in hospital, dying. You end up dying. Vegan compilation.
Stole her milk and her babies were kidnapped from her so you can take her milk from...
They stole her milk and they kidnapped her babies, man. Yes, that's the reason you should start toxifying yourself with these toxic plants, yes.
her. This is animal abuse and murder and rape.
It is.
The mothers are raped to be forcibly impregnated.
Okay, Tash, then why don't you go do something about it? Go do something about it. Why go out in the street and scream and yell at people? That's not going to help. Look at the people around her. They just left her in the middle there screaming and yelling. She looks like an insane person screaming and yelling in insanity. Yeah.
Just so you can steal her milk and then eat her body.
I'm just going to stay alive. I was in the middle of the
That's like these religious people. They go out in the street and they go, "You're a sinner. I've died for your sins on a cross and everything. So you can go to this la-la land called heaven." When there's no heaven, there's just energy. You'll be reabsorbed into the energy. That's all. Yeah, your instincts are telling you that. You know that yourself. Okay.
Welcome to Casper. Here.
The reality of animals. Look at them. They're out there in nature. They're eating grass, enjoying themselves. Then you see the city there on the outskirts, probably. Each year during winter in Australia, approximately 15 million lambs freeze to death. Well, why are they freezing to death? Why would the farmer allow them to freeze to death and then kill them and not bring them to market? This is what you support if you're not vegan. See, this is what you support if you're not vegan. Well, this is if you're not vegan. If you are vegan, this is what you support: death of humans. Because you could just simply put a human there and show what happens to a vegan human. Just play the vegan compilation. They'll just be reabsorbed as energy back into nature. That's what they are. I don't know why people try to make you feel bad. They go, "Oh, look at this animal. They're dead. Feel bad." Yeah, you don't have any power. You don't control this universe or this planet. She's not a god. She doesn't control anything on here. Whatever is doing this has a plan. It's obvious how it conducts its business. How nature conducts its business, God conducts its business. If you want to call it God, nature, God, how it conducts its business is its business, not any of your business. All right, you don't have any power to control this, but it's kind of obvious. It'll reabsorb this calf as energy. Is this supposed to make me feel bad? Like, come on, seriously.
So yeah, there's more body parts here in this graveyard.
Okay.
There's pretty much someone's entire body over there
Yeah.
with their heads and remains,
Yeah.
their wool.
Yeah, and they've been reabsorbed into nature, back into nature as energy. Yes.
Their body.
And so will you, Tash. You will be buried there too, and nature will reabsorb your energy.
Bones, skulls, jaws,
Everything dies.
legs.
Tash, everything dies on this planet and gets reabsorbed in energy, as energy. And then life will continue. Life will continue.
It's very, very,
Energy can't be created or destroyed, Tash.
very disturbing. And this is only here and happening because you're not vegan. Every moment you choose not to be vegan, they're being abused and murdered at your expense.
No, they're not. No, they're not. They're just of nature. This is how nature conducts its business, Tash. I think you're so far gone as a slave living in the city. I don't even. Look at her. She's in nature now. She left the city. She's in nature, and she doesn't even know. She doesn't even understand what nature's about.
You are responsible for this if you're not vegan. This is the largest injustice.
No, you're responsible. Plants are apex predators definitely on this planet. You're responsible if you start destroying them. If you start destroying them, you're responsible for that. If they disappear, you're responsible for that. The animals, they replenish the land. That's definitely for sure. The animals do die. They live and they die. I don't know about these animals here. Maybe they died. They were old already. I can't say for sure. Animals die. And so their bodies are there. They didn't bury them. They die. How do animals die in nature? How do they die? They die like that. Out in the open. They die out in the open. Nobody's going to bury them. We bury humans. Well, we don't bury animals. They just die out in nature and they get reabsorbed in nature.
And Holocaust in history.
How can dying naturally be a Holocaust? What is she talking about?
It's time to live vegan and stop contributing to others' oppression, exploitation, abuse, and murder.
But you're not, right? You're not, right? Okay.
This is not okay.
You're a vegan slave master. Look, I saved one. I saved one. Okay. I'm kidnapping it.
All by yourself?
Here we go, darling. We've saved the entire planet by saving one little calf from eating its grass and everything. And now we're going to take it and abuse it. We're gonna enslave it in our backyard, in our artificial environment, our home. They just stole that poor little calf from its mom. Can you imagine? It's missing its parents and everything. Has to be with these humans now. Wow, she's really brain dead. This must be the pinnacle of entertainment on YouTube. This is incredible, man. I gotta go. Tell me what you think about that video. Like, subscribe, support the channel. I've seen some other stuff too. It's really crazy, her videos. And this whole thing, her getup is just insane these days. I don't know. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, friends.